Okay, so, hello again, everybody. I'm really honored to be here because I feel that, like I was saying, I think some of you may have been here, may not have been here. It's really an honor for me to ever talk in front of audiences, is because all that I do is I just provide a space to inspire that which is already within you. So when you feel this light inside of you and you think, yeah, I'm just reminding you of that which is already in you. So that's why it's just really my honor. You guys have the answers in you. It's just sometimes we need groups, we need movies, we need books. You know, we read a great Paulo Coelho book, we go to a great Louvre, tour, we read a great, we watch a great TED Talk, and you're like, yes, because the answers are within you. So I'm just going to give you 7 steps today to live your legend, to basically find the answers that are already within you. So the 7 steps are an acronym that come from the word thrive, because that's really what I like providing, as a space where people step into the place where they absolutely thrive. You know, we exist. We wake up in the morning, you've heard this many, many times, you wake up in the morning and you think the same thought that you thought the morning before. You know, we have 90,000 thoughts in the day. 90% of those are the same thoughts that you had yesterday, the day before, 36, probably the same thoughts I've had for about 30 years, 35, 30. I mean, how much more of a zombie sort of, I'm not even recording. No, I am recording. It's all good. So how much more of like a zombie state can we be in? We're existing. You look around and people exist. So it's time, guys, that we step into a space where we thrive and we truly live our legend. So step number 1, the T, is trust. T stands for trust. And this is the most important one, and I feel a lot of people get stuck in trust. It's not trusting the people around you. Yes, we have to trust the people around us. But do you trust yourself? Do you trust that, you know what, you are capable of finding the answers? You are capable of making the right choices? You are good enough to quit your job? You are good enough to actually take the steps that need to be taken. Trusting yourself, like, do you really trust that you have it in you? 90% of people don't. 90% of people don't trust that they have the power within, that they have that inner power. And that is the journey of life, I believe. I believe that we are sort of, let me use the analogy of an onion. You guys want another drink? Step number 1, guys.
Yeah.
No, we're all good. So let's use an analogy of an onion or a rose, whatever takes your fancy. But I was once told, Connie, why do you use the analogy of an onion? And onion smells. Use the analogy of a rose. It's the same thing, you know, the petals and stuff. But I like the onion because who we truly are is in the center of that onion. And our lack of trust in ourselves is just one of the many layers. And I almost feel like it's the first layer that we need to peel off in order to go down to find out what our legend actually is. So the first question to ask yourself is, do you trust yourself? And if you don't trust yourself, what is stopping you from trusting yourself? What is stopping you from going within? Step number 1. But important, do you trust the people around you? Do you have a group like this? This is an amazing, amazing space, because you can come here authentically and you can say, guys, I have no idea. Guys, I'm shit scared. Guys, you know, I don't even know, but I know that I'm unhappy. And this is a safe space. There's no judgment whatsoever. So this is great once a month, but what about the people that you're surrounding yourself with? Do you feel safe? One, do the people around you, your family, your friends, do they make you feel safe to go into the center and to uncover? Or are they like, no, don't do that. What about the finances? What about this? What about this? The naysayers, no. You know, those guys, you might have some of them in your friendship group, but do you have them in your relationship, like your intimate relationships? I mean, that's really not a safe space to explore. And, you know, if you're in that space, some people are in a space where they're not feeling supported. What's more important than feeling safe with the people around you is to feel safe within yourself. You know, it's okay to be scared. It's okay to not know. It's okay to feel. I mean, all of this stuff is okay. It is safe. I trust that in divine timing, everything will be revealed to me as it should be. And what you do is you sort of I feel like it's sort of like this out breath when you feel that it is the inner part of me, there's a safety within me to go there, rather than this shell around our heart, around the light that is our legend. You know, it's really hard to get to that light when you're not feeling safe. If you don't feel safe, you're not going to go there, I feel. Or if you do, you know, it's likely, but it's harder if you don't have that space of safety. So the next question is, how can you feel safer? Morning meditations, maybe, just where you know, centering yourself, having conversations with people that are near you and around you, saying, look, I feel that you're not supporting me, and this is important to me, and I need to create that space for myself. So maybe some conversations. You know, Paris, it's not a safe space for me. You know, it's been really, really hard being in Paris because the energy is so heavy. We can talk about my experience, you know, in Paris some other time, but what I've had to do is I've had to look around, because I've moved from South Africa, space, air, freedom, and then in England I was in the countryside, space, air, freedom, to a 37-meter appartement that I'm living with my partner, and I'm like, I'm not feeling safe at all. I can't, you know. So I'm having to create a safe space for myself, which is, you know, exercising, my morning ritual. Thank you very much, Anna. Welcome. Last time I saw Anna and Benoit in this group, we were talking about having a morning ritual, and that's created a safe space for me to go in. And that's what I'm talking about, is it is safe for you to go in, but what do you need to do to create a safe space to be okay to go in? So that's step number one. Step number two, sorry. After the glass of wine. So H stands for hone, to hone in on awareness and acceptance. So those are two steps. So awareness. This is the most powerful one, which is why, you know, we do a lot of awareness in my one-to-ones with my clients, and you will do a lot of awareness when you're seeing your therapist. A lot of you probably have a space where you see a therapist, or you don't, or whatever the case may be, but awareness, I feel, is key to finding out what your legend is, because when you're born, you are born as a beautiful, perfect spark of who you are. When you're born and you're a baby, you are your legend. You are you, and you are beautiful and amazing and perfect and whole and complete. And you're 1 year old and you're 2 years old. If you tap into the energy of that inner child, God, they're loving life, aren't they? Okay, they're running around, they don't have a care in the world. They don't care what they're wearing. They don't care how big their bum looks. You know, they don't care, oh my God, look, I just found another gray hair. Obviously, they're 2 years old. But you get the heart of what I'm trying to say. They're not worried about what they look like. They're not worried about what they wear. And they're not worried about what they're saying, who's saying what to them. They're in the stillness of the present moment. And that's all that there is. Just the present moment. But what happens? Mom says, don't do that. I'll tell you a story. One of my clients, we were working on social anxiety. Didn't like being in groups. So we got to the bottom of, okay, what was going on? And what happened was, as a young child, they loved exploring. You know, they loved, as all young boys do and girls do, you know, like, oh, go behind the chair, see this, see that, blah, blah, blah. Run across the road, just like explore life. But mom and dad kept on saying, don't go there, don't go there, don't go there. Of course, mom and dad are doing the very best that they know how, and we honor them. This is about our journey. But you see, to that young boy, the core, the essence of who he was an explorer. The way he expressed his legend was through exploring and really just being, loving himself in that moment. And when mom said, don't go there, don't do that, he thought, there's this disconnect, there's this discomfort. He feels, I've done something wrong. You know, a 2-year-old cannot rationalize the way that you and I can. So between the ages of 0 and 7, you can't rationalize. You just feel a feeling of not being good enough. So he created this feeling and this belief system that the core of who he was not good enough. And that manifested, it's a bit more complicated than that, but that manifested as whenever he was in front of people, he was afraid to show himself, to be who he was, because he was told off for being that from the age of 2 upwards. All he remembers is being moaned at. When he was passionate, that's our legend, he was told, don't do that. And you can imagine that slowly what happened is the light within him died. And that's what happens to us. The light that we're born with dies because it gets covered up by conditioned views of society. That's why traveling, we resonate with one another, and all of you guys have traveled. Travel is amazing because it shows you how actually different countries have different belief systems. There's no right, there's no wrong. It's just a belief system. So what we have is all these different layers that are conditioned views of who we are. And there are 2 source beliefs, I believe. There is, I am good enough, I am not good enough. So every thought you have is either I am good enough or I am not good enough. So there's healing straight away. If you were to tonight, tomorrow, during the day, just be in awareness, what am I thinking? What am I thinking? What am I thinking? And write down your thoughts. Just write down your thoughts in 2 columns. I am good enough. I am not good enough. How much of them is I am not good enough? Most of our thoughts, unless we are consciously aware of shifting them. So between the ages of 0 and 7, this happens without us even knowing, without us even realizing. You know, even the most amazing parents in the world doing the best that they know how. I'm sorry, guys, but just the journey of being human means you have a belief system that is limiting you. And you need to be in awareness of what that is so that you can step into your legend. That's just what happens. So the third step is the acceptance. Imagine you're a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old. Your parents say something to you and you feel you're not good enough. So what you do is you create a belief system of who you should be to never feel that pain ever again. This happens unconsciously. We all know that feeling. You know that feeling when you're not good enough? You feel it in your stomach. You don't want to feel that feeling ever again. So you create a belief system, of course. So every thought you have, every fear, the fear of failure, all of that you have is just a defense mechanism that's been created because one day when you were 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you felt not good enough. So what we do is we judge ourselves for feeling bad, don't we? We feel bad, but then we judge ourselves for feeling bad because we shouldn't be feeling bad, so we beat ourselves up for feeling bad. So we're in this constant cycle of beating ourselves up versus the acceptance of, you know what, I feel this fear because it is a protection. It's a protection that was created when I was younger. So you know what, instead of feeling bad about it, beating myself up about it, I'm going to love it. I'm going to love that 2-year-old, that 3-year-old, that 4-year-old. In my one-to-ones, I do a lot of awareness around inner child healing. We go to the age of who is that hurt person that's reacting. When you react in any emotion, you are reacting from the space of a scared child, is what I feel. So when we react in anger, hurt, tears, instead of feeling, because no, you're not allowed to feel, are you? There's a belief system around that as well that society has created. So we push that down. So what would you do to a 2-year-old who's crying, a 3-year-old who's upset? You're not going to say, don't stop crying, you useless person, you shouldn't be crying, you should put a smile on your face. This is the stuff that we say to ourselves. Another awareness technique I get people to do is to write down the conversation they have with themselves. And this is powerful. I've done this a few times. It's so powerful. You write down what you say to yourself. Then you turn to the person sitting next to you and you read that out to them. Like if you say, you're so fat, you're so ugly, you'll never amount to anything. These are some of the things that we say to ourselves. You turn around to the person sitting next to you and you say, you're so fat, you're so... Like, why? We wouldn't say that to other people, but we say it to ourselves. It's really powerful. We beat ourselves up. Why do we need an enemy when we have ourselves? We're far worse to ourselves than anyone will ever be to us. It's a journey. This is the journey of what being human is about. So instead of being hard on ourselves, it's the awareness of, guys, you're human. It's okay to feel. It's okay to express. It's okay to release your emotions. It's okay. You don't have to beat yourself up for being human. Love all of who you are. Love the anger. Love the upset. Love the fears. Love. Because when you truly love that part of you, you're loving the person who created it versus shunning and judging the person that created that defense mechanism. It's really powerful to make that shift. We were talking about, where is my place? A lot of people come to me and they say, I'm confused, I don't know what to do. Where is my place? Who am I? This is my journey when I came to Paris. It was like this massive shift of, oh my God, who am I? Because what happens is, there's not just one belief system that's created. There are many. My onion isn't just 5 layers. It's many different layers. And what I'm doing is I've created all these boxes. So I'm visual. I see all these boxes around me. They're all in the mind. So I believe we're a mind, we're a heart of emotions and soul, which is our divine guidance. But the mind creates all these boxes. I need to be skinny if I live in Paris. I need to wear the correct clothes. I need to speak French. I need to live in this area. I need to have this personality. And what you do is you see all these boxes. I need to earn this amount of money. I need to do this, 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 and this. I should be this, I should be that, I should. Whenever you hear your words say should, you're implying judgment. You're saying that who you are in that moment is not good enough. So all the boxes that you create are these shoulds, these judgments. And the reason why we don't know who we are or what we want is because we're looking at these boxes. You're saying, if I become an accountant, I'll earn lots of money. If I do this, then I will, my mom will be happy. If I do this, then this person will be happy. And we're looking outside of ourselves at the conditioned boxes that have been put in our lives. But what we're not doing is we're not tapping into the truth of who we are, which I feel is the soul, is the divine guidance, which is that spark, which is that love, which is that gut feeling, which is that lightness. I feel that whenever you feel light in any emotion, any thought, you're tapping into the truth of who you are. And whenever you feel heavy, you're stepping into that judgment of the mind. I should be this, I should be that. So you will always be confused. You will always not know what you want to do if you are looking outside of yourself to fulfill or meet a box that has been created by society. If you want to know what your legend is, it's to be still, to be in the present moment, and to listen to the still voice of the soul, of the divine guidance, that part of you that's connected to God, to source, to energy, to spirit, whatever you call it. It's the true you, the real you, not society's created you. Okay? Whenever you are angry or resentful, you're in the past. Whenever you're in fear of financial security, fear of looking good, fear of failure, any fear, you are living in the future. You are living in the thought that you won't meet the box. And if you don't meet the box, then you're not good enough. Remember, there's only two source beliefs. I am good enough or I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough is that the future. The same thought you've been having is the fear that's now manifesting in the future. Versus really being in the stillness of the present moment. That's where the power lies. So step 4, the R, is release and forgiveness. Forgive your parents because they did the very best that they knew how. Let go of the anger, the resentment that this person said to you and they shouldn't have said it, and how dare they have said it. Because remember that anytime anyone says something to you that makes you feel heavy, it is reflecting that which you feel about yourself in alignment with lack of worth. You know, I'm going to send you guys all an email. I've got a beautiful product that looks at, it's a mirror work product that talks about how everything you see in somebody else is a reflection of where you're in alignment with your truth or you're not in alignment with your truth. So release resentments and anger. because you're the one who's upset, because it showed you where you don't love yourself. Somebody says to me today, oh, Connie, you've picked up weight. Oh my God, I feel so bad because I am out of alignment with myself in that area. I feel to be good enough, my box is I need to be skinny, because then I will be more attractive. I will be more accepted. So if somebody comments on my weight, I will feel not good enough because I don't love myself fully in that area. When I love myself fully, no matter what anyone says in that area, I will not be upset, because in that area I'm connected to the divine within me. Why do some people get upset and some people don't? Same thing. It's because some people are connected to the love of self and acceptance of self in that area, versus some people not being. So if you release the past, forgive, release the boxes, let go of the boxes, clear the boxes away, give them back to your parents. You got the box because of your parents. You got the box because of society. Just give it back. Just give it back. It's not yours. Next step, I invent. You're in the stillness of the moment. There's no anger. There's no resentment. There are no boxes. There is only the heart, and there is only the soul. When you feel heavy in the heart, when your body feels heavy, you're back in the mind. But when you're feeling light and joy, that your body opens, doesn't it, when you're feeling inspired. That's when you're connecting to the divine within you, that you are good enough and you're capable and you're creative. Then you invent. You see, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, step 5. Inventing your legend is step 5. Because unless you let go, and how are you going to let go unless you're in awareness? Unless you let go of the boxes and the anger and the resentment, you're always going to be creating from the past, from the fear, or from the box, because that's all you've ever done. So it's about creating from the stillness within you and truly looking at, what is my legend? What inspires me? What do I want? You don't have boxes now. You don't have fear. That is the powerful space to be in. And ask yourself the question when you wake up in the morning, what steps can I take to start aligning with my truth? Start asking the question, what are the boxes that I need to remove? How can I invent from my truth? How can I be truly present? Mindfulness is amazing at the moment, isn't it? It's really powerful. A lot of people are into mindfulness because mindfulness brings you into awareness of the body. The body stores the memory of the feeling of not being good enough. So in my one-to-ones, we do a lot of body awareness stuff where we look at, okay, well, where is the memory within the body that's caught, and releasing that. When you're inventing, invent from a space where you're present to the body. Right, I want to open up my own company. I want to divinely guide people. There's a fear. Okay, it's in my heart. Okay, because maybe I'm not as connected to my heart. Maybe it's in my throat. I'm not expressing my truth. And you just use it as a tool to guide you. The body is very, very powerful. That's why mindfulness and meditation have become so popular, because they bring you back to your truth. V Step 6 stands for vibrancy. Vibrancy of life. You're asking the questions. Okay. You're in the process of inventing. Now let's live in the moment. Let's love life. Let's love the fact that we stand in poo in Paris. You know, let's start smiling. You know, let's start connecting with people on a soul level. You know, when you're connecting with someone on the mind, there is no divine connection. But in the present moment, if I'm connecting to your divine, there is an intimacy. Start connecting with people in the moment, not in the past, not in the future, but really look deep into somebody's eyes and connect to them rather than looking in someone's eyes and thinking, oh my God, they're probably thinking I'm not good enough. Oh, I'm wondering, do I have stuff under my eyes? Is my makeup okay? We're not truly in the present moment when we're connecting with people, when we're living. Love life. Focus on the positive. Who are you hanging out with? You know, we were talking about surrounding yourself with people that inspire you, people that feed your energy back to the awareness of how the body feels. You know, the first time I hung out with this group, my energy lifted. You know, when you spend time with people and you're like, oh my God, I'm so tired, because your energy has left in that conversation. So it's about surrounding yourself with people who inspire you, who build you up, who show you the positive. You know, like do Cedric's Louvre talk, because you'll leave having. Laughter is great. Gratitude is great. 3 things every day that you're grateful for. Lifting the vibration to a space of gratitude so that you can live in that vibration. Love life. Start focusing. Another awareness technique. What do you focus on? There is no such thing as truth. Hear the heart of what I'm saying. No such thing as truth or fact. Only opinion or perspective. So what is your opinion? What is your perspective on each situation? Glass half full, glass half empty. Another example I often give in relationships is if I'm looking at that cup, I'm going to tell Benoit that I'm seeing a Lavazza logo. And he's going to say to me, well, no, Connie, there is no Lavazza logo. And I'm going to say, okay, Benoit, you don't understand. There is. And he's like, no, there is not. And I'm like, no, there is. It's the same cup, but we're seeing it from 2 different perspectives. Who's right? We both are. We both are. There is no right, there is no wrong, I say to my clients. There's no right, there's no wrong. There is only that which is in alignment with your truth or in alignment with your mind. That's it. So we're going to vibrantly live our lives. We're going to love it. Okay? Easier said than done. Which leads to the next step. The last one. E stands for expand and emancipate. Like exploring. Like and feel safe to be on this human journey, because I believe that we are a spiritual being having a human experience versus a human being having a spiritual experience. So I believe our soul is choosing to experience that which it is to be human. It's choosing to experience all the belief systems, all the fear, all the anger. So be okay. It is a process. It's a step by step. As I uncover one layer, there's another layer, and another layer, and another layer. And that's just the human journey. And it's about finding in each step, it's like you're walking towards the light That is your divine self. I believe your divine self is love. Is just love. Love of yourself, love of others. If you look at what your legend is, and I'm going to give you the answer after a 30-minute, 40-minute talk. What is your legend? How do you find your legend? Our legend is all the same. Our legend is love. Who you are is love. Divine love of self, divine love of others. So what is your legend in this physical world? You're asking me what is the box that you want to live in, okay? That's very different. We can speak to business coaches. I can speak to you about finding a box. But unless you live your legend through the box, you're not going to be happy because you're always going to be looking for another box. It doesn't matter what you do, as long as you live your legend, your love, your truth through that. And that is found in the stillness of every moment. Live your legend with each step that you take. Live love with each step that you take. And ask the question, help me walk towards the direction that is in the most alignment with my truth. Here's the continuum scale. Head, heart. You might be here, you might be here, you might be here. It doesn't matter where you are. You're just walking up towards the truth of who you are. Until one day, you would have taken all the steps necessary. What some people want to do is they want to be from here and then jump to there. I don't believe that that's how life works. I believe that it's the steps that we take each day. Because even when you're there, if you just jump and you haven't lived your legend, your truth, your love, you're not going to recognize it. It will just be another box. And that is how you thrive to live your legend.